Today we're gonna focus on how to corner fast and safe. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please consider to subscribe if you're into downhill mountain biking and whatever related to that. So we just passed the peak of the fall of 2020. Most of the leaves on the ground, and there's no better time to talk about cornering. Particularly flat corners and off-canvas corners. That could be a little challenge, especially when the trails are wet and slippery, or dry and dusty and slippery as well. So before we get into the fundamentals of the cornering skills, we need to look at tire choice. So depending on the terrain, on the condition of the terrain, if it's slippery and wet or soft dirt, it'll be better grip on a tire with the knobs that's sticking out that could dig into the dirt. And if it's over dry and dusty and slippery as well, it'll be better to have a hard casing tire so you can lean in and not slide on the flat or the off-canvas turns. So here's the fundamentals of the cornering skills that will keep you safe and fast on all types of corners. So first thing, braking. All the braking needs to be done before the turn, sometimes just before the turn. Since the tires could do only one thing at a time, and when the tire is gripping on the turn, it could do a great job until you touch the brake, and then it's losing the traction, and then the out of control sliding happening. So it's always good to gauge your speed just before the turn and slow down as much as you need to so you can carry enough speed safely without sliding on the corner. So the second fundamental cornering skill is looking ahead. Since wherever we're gonna put our eyes, our body is gonna follow. So I noticed that the corners are much easier and much faster and safer when my eyes are focusing on the exit as soon as I enter the corner or enter the berm. But on this episode, we're gonna talk mostly about flat corners and off-cameras. And the next thing is the body position on the bike and the weight shifting and the pedal position, which I think is the most important. So if the body position is being central on the bike, even if the bike is leaning to the left or the right, there's less chances to slide off or to wipe over the corner. So it's important to keep the head and the upper body straight, no matter how deep we're gonna lean to the left or the right. There are some situations that you have to take the turn really deep, and the only way to survive it is to keep the inside pedal high, since the neutral position could be too low that it will hit the ground or hit some rocks, and that will cause a slide or a wipeout. So it's really crucial to stay straight with the head and the upper body when you're leaning on a turn. I learned the lesson in the hard way when I took the turn with leaning with my entire body instead of keeping my upper body straight. I lost traction immediately, and unfortunately, I cracked my ribs on that crash. Sometimes you're gonna tackle the quick turns and you're gonna have to shift your body weight from left to right and also shift the pedal position from the inside outside. There's some corners that the best approach will be to bunny up and turn in the air. If you have some rocks or rollers or a sketchy corner, sometimes the best way to avoid wipeout is just to bunny up and turn in the air and land straight into the direction of the turn. So since we are deep into the leaf surfing season, I decided to rake a little course that has a lot of turns. So I kind of have to calculate the pedals, where I can pedal and where I cannot pedal on the turns, and what position I should keep the pedals on the turns, whether it's the inside pedal or the level pedals position. I noticed if I put a lot of weight on the rear and kind of put my butt behind the seat, that will give me better traction on cornering and braking. But on really sharp turns, it's better to shift the weight to the front and slightly lift the rear end and pull it into the turn. So hopefully that was a helpful video, and now you're inspired to get out to your local trails and smash some corners faster and safer as you can. So smash the like button if you like this episode. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if I missed anything. And if you're new to the channel, please consider to subscribe if you're into downhill mountain biking and whatever related to that. Until then, stay safe, stay fast, and I'll see you on the next session.